We're getting you some more breaking news now. This one's coming from Ukraine, and the Ukrainian media has put out this statement by President Volodymyr Zelensky on the recent attacks, and I quote him here: the 229th day of a full-scale war. The 229th day, they are trying to destroy us and wipe us off the face of the earth in general. To destroy our people who sleep at home in Zaporizhia, to kill people who go to work in Dnipro and Kiev. The air alarm does not subside throughout Ukraine. There are missiles hitting. Unfortunately, there are dead and wounded. Please do not leave shelters. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Let's hold and be strong. Unquote. That's the statement that has been put out by the Ukrainian media, attributed to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. My colleague Abhishek is joining me on the broadcast. Abhishek, what is the word on the casualty figures that have been spoken of by the Ukrainian media now that we are told that there's so many explosions throughout Kiev?
So clearly, it's almost 2 hours since the first strike had hit the city of Kiev, and there are then reports of other parts of the Ukraine also being hit, including Zhytomyr, Dnipro, Kiev, and Kiev. There is also report that there are some blasts that have been heard in Kharkiv. So clearly, President himself has also said that there are casualties, there are people who are injured, they are being provided best of the possible treatment at this point of time. But exact number of casualties as to how many people have died in multiple rockets or missiles that have been fired from the Russian side to the Ukrainian cities are still not clear. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian mayor of the Ukrainian city of Kiev has asked citizens to be at a shelter place and do not venture out unless it's very urgent. He has also asked people who wanted to come to Kiev for some non-urgent work to stay away from the city, because it's likely that there will be more missiles that will be dropping on the city in the wake of recent escalation from the Russian military side on the Ukrainian army and Ukrainian cities.
Right. Abhishek, also the fact that this is ample retaliation by Russia, something that was not exactly expected, because right now, the capital of Ukraine has been hit. We also know about how there was pressure that was mounting on Vladimir Putin. And, of course, the Crimea blast led to this.
Of course, the anticipation of a Russian retaliation was there, but it was not clear how the retaliation will be, whether they'll be targeting any civilian infrastructure, whether they'll be targeting any major cities across Ukraine, or will it just be limited to fight or fierce battle between the armies of the two sides. Now, when Russian side has today started dropping missiles on the Ukrainian cities, it's clear that Russia is also going to target civilian infrastructure on Ukrainian side in revenge to the one blast or explosion that has been on the Crimean Bridge on Saturday, which also caused 3 civilian casualties on Russian side. So clearly, an escalation from both the sides, a retaliation from both the sides, and something that is being done by Russia today will also be avenged from the Ukrainian side. So here onwards, we are only going to see escalation and aggression from both the sides, and there is no end to it. The military fight will continue to go on, and more casualties and more injuries is something sadly that we can forecast at this point of time.
Right. Abhishek, how crucial is this part where the missiles have hit in Ukraine, in Kiev?
So Kiev, the missiles have hit very close by maybe like few meters short of Ukrainian security forces headquarters. Probably that was the main target, but those missiles fell a few meters short of that building, and there was this parking lot where in the visuals and footages we can see so many cars being burning. Probably people who were on their way to office or out to do some sundry work of home, they also got in the middle of this missile attack, and there has been severe casualties. There have been pictures where the surfaces or the roads can be seen soaked in blood. The shards of the mirrors from the cars, they have been spread all across. So clearly there has been severe casualties and injuries of so many civilians, because probably the military or the security office that was on the target has just missed by a few meters. But more civilian casualty has resulted in the latest strike from the Russian side on the Ukrainian city of Kiev.
Right. Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us with all the latest from Kiev. And remember, after so many of those military setbacks for Russia, this is a clear offensive that has been put out by Russia against Ukraine, this time targeting the capital city of Kiev. Leaving it